Have you ever been insulted so deeply that it felt like a punch to the gut? What if I told you that the person who threw that insult could walk away feeling worse about themselves than you do? Imagine this. You're at work, minding your own business, when suddenly someone cuts you down with a sharp comment. Maybe they question your competence, mock your appearance, or belittle your ideas in front of others. It stings deeply. But here's the twist. What if you had the power to flip their disrespect back on them without raising your voice or losing your cool? Sounds impossible, right? That's exactly where Stoic philosophy comes into play. The problem is clear. We live in a world where disrespectful behavior seems to thrive. Social media platforms amplify insults. Workplaces can breed toxic competition, and even personal relationships aren't immune to hurtful words. Many of us react emotionally. We lash out, cry, or retreat inward, all while giving the insulter exactly what they want: control over our emotions. But what if there was another way? A method rooted not in revenge, but in self-mastery, one that leaves the offender questioning themselves instead of you. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to use ancient wisdom from Stoicism to disarm disrespectful people and make them feel insecure after insulting you. And trust me, it's far more satisfying than any comeback line you've heard before. Let's start with understanding why insults hit so hard and why most reactions only feed the fire. Number one, why do insults hurt so much? Why do certain words cut deeper than others? To answer this, we need to dive into human psychology. At its core, an insult targets something we value about ourselves, our identity, our abilities, or even our physical traits. When someone attacks these aspects, it triggers a primal fear: rejection. We're wired to crave acceptance because, historically, being part of a group meant survival. So when someone mocks us, it feels like a threat to our very existence. Now think about how you usually respond. Do you get defensive, angry, or maybe you freeze up entirely? These reactions are natural, but they also give the insulter power. They see your reaction as proof that their words landed, which often emboldens them to keep going. In essence, reacting emotionally validates their behavior and makes you the weaker party. But here's the fascinating paradox. The person dishing out insults is often insecure themselves. Think about it. Why would someone feel the need to tear another person down unless they were trying to elevate themselves? Their words reveal more about their inner turmoil than anything else. Once you realize this, the dynamic shifts. Instead of seeing yourself as the victim, you begin to view the insulter as someone desperate for validation. So how do we harness this insight? How do we stop feeding their ego and start dismantling it instead? This brings us to the heart of Stoic philosophy, a timeless strategy for emotional resilience. Stay tuned, because next I'll show you how the Stoics turned adversity into strength and how you can apply those same principles today. Number two, real-life scenarios. Turning the tables. Picture this. You're sitting in a meeting, presenting a project you've poured weeks of effort into. Midway through, a colleague interrupts with a snide remark. "Wow, this looks like something my kid could have done." Ouch. Most people would either freeze, defend their work passionately, or shoot back a cutting remark. But none of those responses truly neutralizes the situation. Here's where Stoic philosophy shines. Instead of reacting emotionally, you simply smile and say, "Interesting perspective. Tell me more about what you'd improve." Boom. Now the spotlight is on them. Not only are you refusing to take the bait, but you're forcing them to justify their critique. Often they'll stumble, realizing they don't actually have constructive feedback. They were just trying to rattle you. Another example, imagine someone mocks your appearance online, calling you ugly in a public forum. Instead of firing back or deleting the comment, you reply with humor and grace, "Thanks for sharing your opinion. I'll add it to my growing collection of unsolicited advice. This response flips the script. You're not just unfazed, you're owning the interaction. The insulter is left wondering why their jab didn't land. These techniques work because they disrupt the expected dynamic. Most people expect anger, defensiveness, or embarrassment. When you respond with poise and wit, you take away their satisfaction and expose their insecurity. But how do you cultivate this mindset consistently? The secret lies in preparation and practice. In the next section, I'll share actionable steps to help you train your mind to stay calm under pressure and turn every insult into an opportunity to shine. Number 3, training your mind, building resilience. Developing Stoic resilience isn't an overnight process. It requires consistent effort and mental conditioning. Luckily, there are practical exercises you can incorporate into your daily routine to strengthen your emotional muscles. One powerful tool is journaling. Each night, write down any negative interactions you had during the day. Reflect on how you reacted and ask yourself, did I let their words define me? Could I have responded differently? Over time, this habit helps you identify patterns and build awareness around your triggers. Visualization is another effective technique. Before entering potentially challenging situations, like a high-stakes meeting or a family gathering, imagine someone saying something hurtful. Then picture yourself responding calmly and confidently. Rehearsing these scenarios mentally prepares you to handle them in real life. Finally, embrace discomfort. Stoics believe that exposing yourself to minor adversities builds resilience against larger challenges. Try fasting for a day, taking cold showers, or practicing silence for an hour. These small acts of discipline teach you to endure hardship without breaking, making verbal insults seem trivial by comparison. As you implement these strategies, you'll notice a shift not just in how you handle insults, but in your overall confidence. People will sense your unshakable demeanor and think twice before crossing you. Speaking of which, let's examine how maintaining composure impacts the insulter's psyche and why it leaves them questioning their own behavior. Number 4, psychological warfare. Making them question themselves. When you remain unfazed by an insult, you create cognitive dissonance in the insulter's mind. Cognitive dissonance occurs when someone's actions, in this case hurling an insult, clash with the outcome, your calm response. This disconnect forces them to reevaluate their approach, and often themselves. For instance, consider a bully who thrives on intimidation. If their target cries or retaliates, they feel validated. Their strategy worked. But if the target smiles and shrugs off the insult, the bully is thrown off balance. They may double down, hoping to elicit a reaction, but eventually they'll grow frustrated and insecure. Why? Because their entire tactic relies on provoking fear or anger. Without it, they lose their power. This psychological shift is subtle yet profound. By refusing to engage emotionally, you force the insulter to confront their own motivations. Are they lashing out due to jealousy, insecurity, a desire for control? Whatever the reason, your stoic response exposes their vulnerability. Over time, they may even begin to doubt their ability to dominate others. Of course, mastering this level of detachment takes practice, but the rewards extend beyond individual encounters. By cultivating stoic resilience, you transform your relationship with conflict altogether, which leads us to our final section, tying everything together and exploring the broader implications of living like a modern-day Stoic. Number 5, living stoically. The bigger picture. To recap, we've uncovered the root causes of why insults hurt, explored the Stoic framework for emotional mastery, and examined real-life applications of these principles. We've also delved into the psychological impact of staying composed and how it undermines the insulter's confidence. But perhaps the greatest takeaway is this: Adopting a Stoic mindset doesn't just protect you from disrespect, it empowers you to lead a more fulfilling life. By focusing on what you can control your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you free yourself from the weight of external opinions. You become unshakable, no matter the circumstances. And as others witness your unwavering strength, they'll gravitate toward your energy or step back, intimidated by your resolve. Here's your challenge. The next time someone tries to disrespect you, pause, breathe. Remember that their words reflect their insecurities, not your worth. Respond with grace and clarity, and watch as the tables turn. Because true power lies not in dominating others, but in mastering yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey into Stoic philosophy. If you found value in this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And remember, the strongest weapon against disrespect isn't retaliation, it's resilience. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep shining.